It's been 14 years since Z.E.A.L, likely in concert with a Japanese NPA, managed to detain or kill Kira, or rather, Light Yagami. Of course, it's not confirmed to be him. Only a few online sleuths have started to suspect this. But because no official agency has acknowledged this theory yet, the public hasn't accepted it. I'm rather confident about it, though. I wish I could have told Mello once I'd figured it out. I haven't seen them since they'd left Whammies, at least apart from on TV. It all started with L's broadcast in the Kanto region of Japan back in 2003. Every night, I revisit that performance, not just for the strategy, but for the insight into Kira's mind. His impatience in that crucial moment didn't just reveal his inability to kill without a name and face. It narrowed him down from anywhere in the world to a specific location in Japan. Light Yagami was careless. After that, pinpointing him became much easier. An ambitious Japanese college student with direct ties to the police is already suspicious. What solidified it, though, was the timing of it all. Thanks to Mello. And still, Light had nearly won. I mean, clearly the original L is dead. Why else would Z.E.A.L and Mello have left the orphanage so abruptly? Mr. Whammy's gone, and Mihail is likely dead too. When Kira's spokesperson, Kiyomi Takada, was kidnapped, the assailant's identity was suspiciously withheld, dead or alive. No global news outlet would hide that without government orders. It's just too convenient that Kira's killing stopped right after Light's sudden vanishing. Whether or not Z.E.A.L gave the orders, I am certain that only Mello would be reckless enough to kidnap Kira's messenger. If Mello's dead, that means Z.E.A.L is likely L. I've outgrown the orphanage and now live alone in the US, watching as my former dorm mate surpasses me in every way. But now he's cornered. Due to the 2019 auction, my president has supposedly obtained Kira's abilities. Yet despite the hefty sum paid to Japan, it's difficult to say if he's ever used them. What the hell? I need to sleep on this before I do anything. No wiretaps. No hidden cameras. And nothing weird in the backyard. It's highly unlikely it's a fake. It's stuck to the glass, suspended, like gravity didn't apply. If this were the work of the American government, they'd be cleaner, more calculated. This lacks subtlety. This raises the odds that Kira uses a physical weapon. I had a gut feeling that Kira's ability was through something more tangible rather than telepathic. Even if those messages did float when the auction was announced on the news, it would be weird to auction it off if you couldn't physically pass it like a baton somehow. This is weird, though, in that it almost feels too normal. A notebook? The president wouldn't dream of giving away theirs. I doubt the United States would randomly present this sort of concept to me, even if they'd taken notice of the orphanage and were trying to test me in some way. They'd be testing my identity instead. When I saw it resting on my roof, I thought it would be more likely that Whammy's house was trying to see if I would be capable of some form of insubordination. That still doesn't explain how it could have been suspended in the air on its own like that. When I felt it, there was no magnet, no adhesive, no tricks to keep it attached to the glass like that. That thing floated like it was alive. It must have come here on its own. But I thought the owner of Kira's abilities had to willingly give it to someone. That's what I'd gathered based on the events of the auction. Oh, this doesn't make any sense. The human whose name is written in this note shall die. This note will not take effect unless the writer has the person's face in their mind when writing his or her name. Therefore, people sharing the same name will not be affected. If the cause of death is written within the next 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen. If the cause of death is not specified, the person will simply die of a heart attack. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. This death note and all these pages of rules seem consistent with what I know about Kira. It makes sense how Light could have gotten away with killing so many people for 6 years straight. But again, that's only if it's the real thing. The second Kira implies that there can be multiple books on Earth. So I'd say I'm about 65% confident in assuming that this has the potential to be real. The only way to get a full confirmation, though, would be to use it. Kira was active up until the early 2000s. With all the quick advancements in modern tech, finding success as Kira would be very difficult, if not impossible. Hey, John. All I have to do is wait another 5 minutes. Then, hopefully, I'll get my confirmation. Otherwise, it's straight to the fireplace with this thing.
Hey, you're here early.
Yeah, in a bit of a rush today. But I'll have the usual.
No problem, Eli. Eclipse it is. You want tahini on the rim?
Of course. I've blended in well with American society. I've lost my accent. I live with a fabricated identity that has never, and likely could never be tracked by any outside source considering how thorough the orphanage really is. Eli Mercer is my alias of choice. Coming here every Saturday has become part of my routine, so it'd seem odd if I changed schedules now. Oftentimes I'll bring my stock trade stuff here to work while I drink, so it's not going to be suspicious that I have the notebook hidden in this satchel. I made sure no one saw what I marked in there, so it's just a matter of time to see if I can confirm if this thing is real. I don't think I have to worry about anyone coming over and asking me about it. If that happens, the book is most likely fake. However, if I'm right, and the first person I write dies, then I'm going to have to prepare myself for when I decide to write the second, as well as all the things that will come after.
Gotcha. Do you want anything else?
Nah, man. I'm all good here. Just take it easy tonight.
No problem. Alright, bro. Are you starting to tab?
This is going to be a one and done.
So what are you working on now?
Just keeping up with NVIDIA news so I can see when a good time to withdraw a portion of my investments would be.
Oh yeah? Are you gonna redistribute them or whatever?
Nah, I'm just gonna cash out. I want to use it to pay off the next mortgage bill. I already redistributed it into some more digital currency.
That's crazy, man. I'm still trying to get my feet off the ground. Standing here pouring drinks, and you're playing the market to pay off a house at 25?
Just about what you decide to put your mind to, John.
Yep, if you say so. Well, I'm gonna leave you to it.
Yep. I hate being curt with John, but it's time. Trent Owens, otherwise known as Howleys on most online streaming platforms. He had made his livelihood streaming online video games to children. Unfortunately, he decided to get too intimate with his target demographic. He was nearly convicted last year, but managed to get off on account of insufficient evidence. From here, I get to watch how legitimate this book is. I went through all the necessary steps to make sure that they can't trace me back to this bar's Wi-Fi. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recently, I was put under trial for the grooming and assault of a few of my fans. I've been avoiding it because I thought I'd gotten away with it, but I'd like to set the record straight now. I did in fact do these things, and am deleting any backups I have of the victims now.
It worked.
Now, I would like to say this. Kira is law. I believe he will never forget about his people, or his goal for a perfect world.
This is perfect. I didn't think it would happen this smoothly. Ironically enough, he was already a Kira supporter, which helps me get my point across, but now... Tomorrow is gonna be the best day of my life. Huh? Oh, it must have been nothing. If I'm gonna bring Kira back from the dead, I need to get into his moral mindset fast. I need to start casting judgments now, otherwise people will immediately be able to pinpoint me. keeping it within the bounds of who Yagami would target is the wisest option. But it's not going to be done just by using heart attacks. I'll centralize those at one area across either the Pacific or Atlantic and make it seem like Kira might be across the ocean. Maybe Korea? No, Germany. Everyone thinks the United States has Kira's powers, so no matter what, the government is going to be used as a scapegoat. This will cause online discourse, and politics will be put on hold as world leaders try and openly discuss who it may be. The United States will do its best to de-escalate for the sake of its reputation, and Japan will likely begin to investigate here, leading to a pause on heavy military activity to not rile any more feathers. This is exactly how the original Kira would operate. It'll leave the entire world confused. I'm not going to leave any of this to chance. I double-checked the house after getting back and made sure I wasn't being followed. I'm going to write as many names as possible before the morning comes. I looked over all the rules before heading to the bar. None of them explicitly mention the accuracy of writing an individual's name in its language of origin. The only one that comes close is the 22nd rule that states a victim's name can't be misspelled 4 times. Just in case, if by any chance that I must get rid of it, I'll make sure my handwriting can't be traced back to me. Even then, just in case, the smarter thing to do would be to burn every page as I use it. Maybe I'll make a ritual out of it somehow. I was listening to the radio on the way back. People are ecstatic. I never thought someone could garner this sort of admiration in such a short period of time. That's not what I'm excited about, though. Am I truly gonna get everything I could ever want in one fell swoop? I can finally participate in this game. I know I can win! I don't necessarily want to do all of this. In my opinion, Kira never should have existed in the first place. But now it's too late. Crime rates are higher than they had ever been before Light Yagami had started killing. I don't know why I was so hesitant. At this point, the world doesn't just need another Kira anymore. It needs a better one. This time, the scales will be balanced. And Nier, he'll see it too late. I get to beat him at his own game. I'll be on top. I'm coming for you, Nate River. Okay, let's see how this goes.
To the new Kira. This is L.
Right on time. Let's hear what you can muster up.
You've left behind an undeniable trail, Kira. I've analyzed the patterns in your recent killings and the live stream of your victim, Howley's. From this, I have formed several conclusions. First, your actions show an intimate understanding of psychological manipulation and a detailed knowledge of the workings of Kira. The way in which you had so obviously compelled Howley's to confess before his heart attack, using his own guilt and the precision with which you've targeted individuals afterwards, suggests a meticulous but impulsive mind. You clearly prepared yourself to know beforehand that I must have had prior information on Kira, potentially available to others.
So far so good. I already assumed you'd have contingencies for this considering you'd already worked on the previous case.
Second, the previously mentioned precision as well as the visibility of your recent killings suggests a place of dense connectivity with easily available information at your fingertips. My estimation narrows it to a few major urban areas. You've hit it well, but the cracks are already showing. Based on data tracking and the analytics of last night's stream, the most active countries had viewers in either the Americas or Europe. With many of the killings localized in Germany, there's a small possibility Kira is residing there.
He'd begun narrowing it down by continent. Good for him. I noticed he said small possibility. This is what I'd hoped for. If I'm gonna change the world as it is now, I need to move fast. They're probably even using AI to run probability analysis and simulation tests. It's not gonna slow down for me. I need to adapt.
And there is one more thing. Lastly, considering you knew to match my name with my face, your profile has the highest likelihood of matching someone with ties to an institution that fosters intellectual prodigies. It's likely that you, or at least your accomplice, will recognize the name of this building, Lemmy's house. All of this leads me to suspect you may have been a contemporary of mine.
Should have known posting his name anonymously online last night wasn't going to be enough. I figured he'd probably already encountered a death note before and probably was aware of its rules. I didn't think he'd ever directly acknowledge Whammy's house, though. I didn't write that. It doesn't matter. It's over. And whoever else decides to get in the way of Kira will be unable to stand there for very long. Not while I live. You were so close, Nier, but it just wasn't enough. I knew you weren't going to be able to figure it out. Not that fast.
But even with these deductions, I have failed to uncover your identity. You've hidden well, Kira, and for that I must admit defeat.
Say it.
I have failed. I am not the original L, merely his successor, and I now have confirmation that I will never live up to the name. Despite my efforts, I could not stop Kira. This will be my final broadcast as L. To those who place their trust in me, I acknowledge my shortcomings. The responsibility to oppose Kira now falls to those of whom continue to stand against this senselessness. I hope the world will succeed where I could not. Goodbye.
He really did it! The great L. Gone! Just like that. Not bad, Nier. You got close. Closer than I expected. But this is my victory. Now I know why Yagami couldn't help himself with Lynn Taylor. This is just too good. You couldn't stop me. And with this, no one else will either. I wanted to see if maybe you could find me. After all, 12 hours should have been plenty for someone as gifted as yourself, right? Given today's society? You've beaten me in everything before. Why not this? Come on! Where's the challenge? How come this was the one game you couldn't win, Nier? I wonder what will happen next.
Me too.
What? What are you?
Oh, come on. You should be able to figure that out. I am Shinigami, Oscorid. It's a pleasure to meet you.